coming today to my problem-based learning presentation. I'm Elisa Baughman, and I'm getting my master's at Lipscomb University. And for this semester, our project was to create a problem-based learning activity, or some people know them as project-based learning. So we'll start with my presentation. I chose the topic of resilience. And so the driving question that I will give my students will be, what role does resilience play in students overcoming setbacks to become successful in school and life? The reason, or my purpose for choosing resilience, I found out while doing research on this that it is not something that you're necessarily born with. It is something that can be taught and can be learned. And so the type of students that we see at Freedom Middle School where I teach, I think if they realized that there are ways that no matter what you're given, what situation in life you're given with, there are ways to overcome that. So my purpose for resilience is to show that these negative things that can impact you, you really can be taught and be shown ways to overcome them so that you can achieve positive outcomes. My rationale, there is a website I encourage everyone to go to. It's called the Resilience in Education 360s. And in this research, what they found out is that schools and teachers can play a very important role in students and children developing resilience. I found that very interesting, that those two places, or those two items, teachers and schools, had a greater impact than parents and peers. So I thought that was very interesting, and I thought what a great place then in our school and with our students to create a problem-based learning project based around resilience. One thing that I enjoy about creating PBLs and that I've noticed while researching PBLs is that it covers a multitude of standards without having to have like a checklist of, well, I've done this standard or I've taught this standard. Several standards that are covered in when the students complete this PBL, they have to be able to show their ability to apply these standards, and that will show their understanding of it without me having to give a quiz or a test of covering a certain standard. Their ability to complete this PBL will show their understanding and application of the standards that it covers. The video, I'm going to show just a quick clip of the video that I will show my students at the beginning of this unit to kind of get them thinking about what is resilience and what is that going to look like. And here is an example of that video. We'll just show a few clips.
As you can see, I was born without fingers on my right hand, and also my right leg was several inches shorter than my left one. They broke the bones in the leg, then they screwed metal spikes into the bone. It has not only spikes but wires that go all the way through the leg to stabilize it. I have to walk on it. I have to stretch it out so that my muscles don't just get all atrophied. People always ask me, does it hurt? Yes, it does. But I focus on what I can do, not on what I cannot do. I want to talk with you guys about overcoming obstacles. Everybody has obstacles, a disability, a hurdle. We face a choice. Let the obstacle overcome you or overcome the obstacle. Maybe some of you have heard of Jim Abbott. He was a Major League Baseball player. He won a gold medal in the Olympics. He played for the Yankees, the Angels, but he threw a no-hitter and he only had one arm. When he was a kid, he came home mad one time and told his dad, "The kids won't let me play baseball because I only have one hand." His dad replied, "No, the kids won't let you play baseball because you stink at baseball." You can't change the fact that you only have one hand. You can't change the fact that you stink. So his dad began to practice with him, and he got good. He overcame obstacles. Teams would try to exploit his weak side. They would try to bunt to the side that he had a missing arm. But they never succeeded because he practiced and practiced feeling bunts to that side. There is no dishonor in having a disability, and I won't let anyone diss my ability, but I don't want anyone's pity.
So I just wanted you to get an idea of the video that the kids are going to be watching, that I think will get them going in the right direction as far as what does it take to overcome things and what exactly resilience is, because I think resilience, that word may be new to them, but I think that this video will for sure apply to their experiences and their world, and I think that they will be able to relate to the video. So, back to the presentation. Okay, so the action. I am going to start this PBL by telling the students that they're going to be researching what adversity the students at our school face. What types of adversity do the students at Freedom Middle School face, and the importance of resilience in those adversities. They're going to need to discover examples and ways to share with their peers, parents, adults, in how to become more resilient in order to be successful. There are 10 steps involved in this PBL. And the first two steps involve a whole group presentation. This is where I'll present the question, I will show the video, I'll get them to start deciding if this is their job, to create a presentation to show others how to become more resilient and how resilience does lead to success. I want them to brainstorm as a whole group what types of groups are going to be needed to create this presentation. I'd like to get the students to become aware of what steps are they going to need to take as students, not just being directed as a teacher. So what groups are we going to need to continue with this PBL? The next two steps I have called small groups. This is where they will have been divided into groups based on what they think the needs are for this presentation. They'll be given a pacing guide, and the groups will be given a new group in Edmodo. We use Edmodo in our classroom, and that will help them keep track of their findings, and they can upload and post, make posts and put documents in their Edmodo account for the group. So that'll be the small group, step 3. The next step will be the research. I have provided several websites and places for them to go and research and watch videos and real-life examples of people who have overcome adversity and what are the keys. This is where a lot of the standards will be covered, and showing their ability to read text and to be able to analyze the text and decide what is it they need to pull from those texts and those videos in order to share with others. The next part of the PBL I have called the collaborative part. This is step 5, 6, and 7, and this is where they will begin to collaborate and decide what items that they have found in their research do they want to use on their presentation, and they will have to start deciding what kind of presentation are they going to do and what will that look like. Steps 5 through 7 are collaborative. And then the last 3 steps, 8, 9, and 10, this is the presentation. This is when they will share a rough draft with the whole class and get critiqued. They'll do evaluations on each other before presenting this to a live audience. And so my hope is that the students, knowing that they're going to present to a live audience of peers, adults, and parents, I really think that that will encourage them to take this a little more seriously than they would a typical worksheet or even just a typical project that they're just going to turn in for the teacher to grade. So I'm excited to see how the idea of presenting to a real live audience will affect their presentation. I found on easypeasykids.com this acronym of resilience, and so my students will have this in the room kind of as a reminder of what resilience is, and I thought that this was a good way to end up the reason and the purpose for my children, my students, doing a PBL on resilience. So always remember you're good enough. E, everyone is different. S, stop comparing yourself. I, individuality rocks. L, learn something new daily. I, involve yourself in what you love doing. E, enjoy things that make you happy. N, not everyone can be first, second, or third. C, care about yourself and others. E, expect that some days won't be great. And what's ironic is, while preparing for this PBL, I have decided I'm going to have to learn a few lessons in resilience myself, because I have a feeling the kids are going to run into several roadblocks along the way. But I'm excited about this, and I'll be interested to share the results with everyone. Thank you for coming. I appreciate taking the time to listen to my presentation.